You know, there's just more and more technology in everything that we have, and including our hearing aids. And we love hearing from our next, see how I did that? We love hearing from our next guest, Stuart
Nice.
Spencer with Advanced Ear Care.
I like it, Michael.
How you doing?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you.
Are you ready for the big game tonight? You gonna watch?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, UConn's probably there. They look tough.
They look
but you
tough.
never know. You got to play the game.
You got, yeah, absolutely. That's the big part. You got to play the game. For folks who want to hear it better, there's new AI technology that you have in some hearing aids. Tell me about how that works and how it's helping people hear just a little better.
Yeah, well, talk about playing the game. That's a game we play every day, right? If we have hearing impairments, trying to hear in noisy situations. And this technology that we have today with Audibel is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought we'd have this level of technology. Mm-hmm. Fast, smart, sharp. The artificial intelligence now is like scanning, your sound plane.
Right.
While you're even moving your head in a direction or moving your body, your motion, your chewing, it's starting to recognize those kind of movements and adapting sound. So it changes that signal to noise ratio. Mm-hmm. So the signal goes down, that background noise, so you can hear that speech, much more clearly. And
it's amazing how it can, those distinctions it can make and just filter out, close out, kind of like our ears do normally, right? We don't hear the little buzzing or whatever. We're able to focus. So it's able to focus with that AI.
That's right. Getting smarter all the time, and it makes a real substantial difference. People are just coming back. Basically, Michael, they're just putting them on, wearing them, and hearing better. Mm-hmm. You don't have to fiddle with them a lot. You can if you want to. I was just talking to a gentleman out here, in the green room there, was talking about, he's a gadget guy, and boy, you can really go into it and do a lot if you like, to really fine-tune things and get a lot of control over your own hearing. But if you don't want to, you put them on, you wear them, and you hear better.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the biggest significant change from the hearing aids we've had into the AI? Is it just the like you said, the clarity and the ability to focus on what you're hearing?
Well, Michael, hearing is such an intricate, sensitive sense, and physiologically, it's just amazing. You go from, acoustic energy to mechanical energy in that middle ear, to hydraulic energy, to electrical energy. There's all that, and
Right.
think about that stuff. Just like instantly. So speed is really important with understanding speech. Most people have a problem because they can't process speech as rapidly as people speak it. They know somebody's talking to them.
Right.
But it's just like, what was that?
It's
What was
so
that?
fast.
They miss those little intricacies. So that's the difference. It's the accuracy of those small, subtle changes that give them that speech intelligibility that really makes them feel a lot more comfortable and stay in the game in those conversations.
And it's sometimes people say, "Oh, listen, do you hear that buzzing kind of thing?" And then you're able to focus.
Yep.
And so you have that ability to do that as a younger adult, I suppose. And do we just lose that ability as we get older to be able to focus our hearing or be able to do that? Or is it because of the damage or the things that are just deteriorating in the ear?
It's a great question, and it's all of that. We don't hear in our ear, we hear in our brain, right? Your ear's your decoder.
Right.
So, it's like all the stuff that comes along, we didn't even know, about dementia and Alzheimer's, being more prevalent in people that have hearing loss that don't wear hearing aids. They're not stimulating that part of their brain, so they lose that cognitive type of function. And so now paper after paper after paper, has come out the last 15 years kind of supporting that. And then recently, the Keck Institute just came out with a study showing people that wear hearing aids that have hearing loss live longer. I'm like, wow. I don't know who these people are to do these studies, but they're pretty impressive. So, when you're stimulating that brain, you're using all those little subtleties, and it all comes together. I guess is really what my point is.
So that's something that really people should think about in terms of as they age, as they worry about dementia, as they worry about those kinds of things coming on. If they're not, I'm being stubborn about my hearing. I don't want to get hearing aids. I don't want to wear those things, that kind of thing. It's something that really is going to be for their long-term health benefit, not just hearing, right?
Exactly. People come in for that immediate benefit. I'm having a hard time, and with the 19th hole with the golf buddies, in a restaurant or in groups or whatever they may be. And so, that's the short-term game, but really the long-term game is that, overall mental cognitive health. And it's a big deal. So, what happens is people think, oh, I'm fine with my hearing, and because guess what? That's normal hearing to them,
Right.
even if they have hearing loss. They don't know how much better they should be hearing or could be hearing.
It's like watching water boil. It just eventually it just gets there, and you don't realize how quickly,
That's right. So what happens is, they come in, we quantify the difference for them. We show them just real simple. I'll just read you a list of words. Just repeat these back to me just like you hear them. Then we test their hearing. We just put a set of hearing aids on them that are programmed for their hearing loss. We read them the same list of words. If they go from like 60% up to 92%. It's just like so obvious, And then they take them out and they wear them. I say, hey, go wear them. Listen to your friends, family, TV, telephone, all the things that are important to you. You come back and tell me how you're doing. They're like, oh my gosh, I never knew, because they just don't know.
Now, take your crystal ball out for a second.
Yeah.
Are we on the very edge of how good hearing aids and hearing improvement can be with AI as it develops, as we learn more? Do you think we're really going to get even more and more advanced?
Well, I tell you, they've surprised me with this level, and even the previous level to this. At Audubell, Anshin Borwick, is a engineer that we got from Intel. And he said, you guys don't even know what you can do with hearing aids. And so these are his products that he's come out with. So I think we have more coming, sure. I think the more we learn, the faster and the more data we get, the more we can help people hear and understand speech more clearly.
Now, people, since there's been deregulation in the industry a little bit, people are going to Costco, they're getting the hearing aids there, they're just buying them off the shelf, ordering them online. And some folks are not probably as happy as they could be, or maybe they're not as tuned. Can you, when people walk into your office with those, can you help them out with those, tune them in, or maybe say, hey, maybe you want to go a different direction?
We do everything, now in the last year and a half since that deregulation, we see everything, big honking, people come in, their their ears are sore, they don't know how to work them, and all that stuff. We try and help everybody, we'll take them from where they're at. That's why I love Costco. I love Costco being in the hearing aid business. They get more people wearing hearing aids than I ever could out of our little office, And so then they come in, they want something better, So then we can upgrade them and help them out there and show them what the differences are. So, we help everybody with everything they've got. So we'll do our best anyway.
Does the insurance pay for the new AI highest end hearing aids these days? Are they already adapting that, or is it partial, or how does it work?
It's all over the place, and that's why, we have an insurance department. We just call on everybody, because even within the same company, we can, have, United Healthcare, Nations, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem Blue, whatever it may be. And so even within those policies, there's hundreds of different benefits and packages, and they may or may not include hearing aids. And then, or they may say, okay, you have this hearing aid. Well, they just get the hardware, It doesn't include any service or very little typically.
Right.
Like they'll do like a delivery and then 2 follow-up visits that they pay us for. And then after that, the patient has to do everything else themselves, So we have service packages for those people, so we can kind of help them, all along. Hearing aids take maintenance, and a lot of counseling along with that, So we, like I said, try to help everybody along with everything. But we'll find out what your insurance is. We take almost all of them, very, very few exceptions. So
what's the typical out-of-pocket cost for folks who walk in and with insurance and all that kind of thing?
Usually it gets down to about a couple $1,000s. Rather than a full, $5,000 or $6,000.
Right.
And it depends,
Yeah, it just depends on the insurance, and
That's
everybody
right.
a little bit different
But
for
we
everybody.
work with all those, and we have technologies that match a person's budget that'll help them to hear better. So we tie it in.
Now, we're talking about TV a little bit earlier, but people really have a trouble with television, hearing this stuff on television, right? How can, what's going on there? Why is that a difference maker?
It's an interesting question. And, I do, right? I wear hearing aids. And so, I have a streamer. I just tap my ear. I hear my TV across the room right in my hearing aids. It's so much clearer. Sound, I should say, on TV is horrible. The quality of it,
Right.
So people try to buy the sound bar, and that's not adjusted to their loss. It just makes things a little bit louder. Sometimes that helps. But with the technologies we have today, we can stream that sound right into the hearing aids. But inherently, the TVs today even have the speakers facing backwards.
Right.
You know, instead
Because
of
they're the wall-mounted TVs and that kind of thing, so there's no speaker in the front anymore.
How ironic is that, right? So, just like logistically, there's a lot of problems with that. And, let's face it, when you want to watch TV, even if you don't watch a lot of TV, you want to hear it well. And then there's always the background noise and the programs that, make the speech harder to hear in those little issues. But we can help them, that's for sure.
Yeah, don't put the closed captioning on. Go see Stuart.
Yes, there you go. That's right. That's right. Enjoy the program. Don't have to test your reading skills.
Well, all right. Well, lots of good information as usual from Stuart Spencer, Advanced Ear Care. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, always a pleasure, Michael. Thanks for having us today.
Thank you. We come back, we'll be talking to folks from the Theater Guild. Stay with us.